it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style. Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys. Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it till the crowd can't take no more. Big hair since the flag came down. Be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hair since the flag came down. Be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Hello everybody and welcome to Fort Worth, Texas for the penultimate race of the LIMECAR SimRacing Challenge season number 3. It's the Wurth 400 presented by LiquiMoly here at Texas Motor Speedway. We have 8 drivers mathematically eligible to compete for this championship. The cut line's closing in. You got to be within 60 points. Today is the day we figure out who is going to be competing for the title at Homestead. Up in the booth alongside me, none other than the handsome Tommy McIntyre. Tommy, how are you doing today?
Oh, very flattered. That's how I'm doing. Thank you for having me back once again, Tyson. Looking very well yourself too.
Thank you. Well, we have 2 commentators blushing in the booth right now, so we'll put the point standings up on the board. Logan Williams, your current points leader, 12 points separating that top 4, and then a bit of a ways back to 5th. The top 4, Williams, Glow, Guthrie, Marnell, all mathematically will be competing for a title next week. Santiago Nicholas, Robbie Gordoff, they need a little bit of help. They need a win and a few DNFs. Zachary Ponce, Strokey Banger, they need a stroke or a miracle for something to happen for them to be able to win, to be able to compete for a championship. We have Henry Guo on the pole, so that doesn't bode well if you're below that little cut line, but it's going to be a great race here today. Tommy, let's get into these race facts. What are we looking for today?
Well, it's your usual run-of-the-mill 1.5 mile intermediate here at Texas. We've got ourselves a 67 lap race and a fuel window of 26 to 36 laps. So you might see some drivers, if there's an early yellow, pit at that yellow and maybe turn it into a 2-stop. Or you might see some guys try to extend that fuel mileage so they can make it on 1 stop. This is obviously at Texas here. Everything's bigger in Texas, so we got high banking and we got a lot of high speed. But even still, with that high banking up towards the top, it's still the bottom lane that's preferred.
Thank you. We'll be keeping a note on those today. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Row 1, Henry Guo, Tyler Cook, another front row start for Christ's Racing Team. Row 2, Eris Yuko and Christopher Marnell. Row number 3 sees Cam Wright Jr. and Michael Guthrie, and row 4 completes an all-S Tofo top 10 practically with Ryan Perone and Scordace Greenhouse Jr. Matthew Fastnot, Grayson Collins see out row number 5. Row 6, Santiago Nicholas needs a little bit of help today, starting alongside Jordan Madron. Hunter Collier, Nicholas Soa, they're in row number 7. As row number 8 cycles out to Austin Green and Garrett Lamar. Row number 9 sees Kaz Gralla and Braden Sigafos in his best start of the season. Row number 10 is going to have Ricardo Garcia and Cam Arrow. The middle part of the field sees Zachary Ponce and an awfully slower than usual Logan Williams. Row 12, Blake Walker and Chris Lilly. Row number 13 is going to have Anthony Foss in the 84 of Strokey Banger. He was fast at Kansas earlier this year. Ethan Harrison, Ian McDaniel in row number 14. Robbie Gordoff and Joe Kraus, the 3's row in row 15. Row 16, Kyle Mabey and Chase Gibbons. The field rolls on to the back straightaway here as row 17 has Quentin Haley and Jerry Chen. Row 18 has the 80 and the 68. Row 19 is going to have Richard Fridge and Alexander Rowe. And row 20, a regression to the mean for Justin Haley after a few good weeks, and Nathan Stapleton. And rounding out today's field is Reed Simpson and Norris Toll. We're in turn 3, about to head to turn 4. Any quick words before we get set underway for 67 laps here?
Just hoping for a good race here, and that all of our championship contenders can make it to the flag. We want to see a good load of drivers in contention next week, so hoping for a good one.
Absolutely. Henry Guo, last week's winner at Talladega, is going to lead them back to the green flag. He ended last week's race in the lead. He'll start this race, taking him to turn number 1. Tyler Cook alongside him. Eris Yuko, your Kansas winner, right back alongside him. He's going to tuck it behind that 47. The 23 is going to give his teammate a big push as they're exiting turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Here comes Cam Wright Jr. in the 52. He's looking a lot underneath the 50 of the 23, but that's Eris Yuko who's going to lead them back to the flag here on lap number 2 for the Wurth 400. Here comes Marnell in the 23. Down the back straightaway they go. Oh, there's contact. It's the 53 and the 5. And we've got a spinner. It's Jordan Madger.
Comes back up on the field.
Hits the 84 of Strokey Banger, and that's going to bring out the yellow for the first time here today on lap 3 of 67. The 04 of Matthew Fastnot gets involved as Marnell had taken the lead here on lap 3 of 67. So the championship contender taking the lead early. Let's take a look at this replay. Nothing Madron could do there as the 5 and 53, they were 4 wide for a little bit. Looks like they all got squeezed.
Yeah, I think they were trying to give space to the Mudfish car, and the 3 of them were kind of towards the bottom. They wanted to give themselves the entire road to work with and squeezed the 3 of them into each other, and Brazen Collins just got pinballed around, and that was the end result.
On board with Strokey Banger here, he's got up one load to do, and he's taking the weapon to the garage.
It's a shame for Strokey. That's obviously not the result that they were looking for today. Trying to get a good result to get themselves into championship contention, so you hate to see that.
Now, Tommy, you mentioned if we saw a caution early, we'd see some pit stops. Everybody's going to come down pit road here. I think everybody's going to take advantage of some fresh tires.
Yeah, there is a lot of deg at this track, so I'm not surprised to see a couple of cars in. Although maybe I'm surprised to see absolutely everyone in. I think maybe some people towards the back might try risk it, but yeah, it looks like we've got a lot of pit stops here and people taking 4 tires. Although we've got some 2 tire changers there towards the front of the field at the 37 at Chen.
It looks like the 37 at Chen was involved in the accident. He was coming down pit road, but that's the 83 of Santiago Nicholas who will win the race off of pit road with a 2 tire left sides only stop. So some 2 tire, some 4 tire stops here. And I'll take a quick note. The 17, they really haven't been that fast. They unloaded kind of slow. They weren't that quick in practice. Qualifying a little bit better. Happy hour a little bit better. They're currently 25th as we run right now. We're going to head back to the restart here on lap 7 of 67. The 83 of Santiago Nicholas, he needs a lot of help to be able to put himself into championship contention, sitting in 5th right now in points, but he's going to lead them back to the green after a big gamble on pit road. Let's see how these 2 tires hold up for the 83. Green flag's back in the air. We're off and underway. We've got a few cars that are lapped on the bottom, the 37, the 68, and the 62.
I really like this call from the 83 team. I think it's what they need to do. They need to be bold, they need to be brave, and nobody wants to do it.
The 08 of Nicholas Soa really has nothing to gain, nothing to lose. They're in the mid-table of the points as we see the field roar by. He also took no tires, fuel only. he went plus 17 on that pit stop cycle. Lap car of Aaron Giffen. Looks like he's in the way a little bit. The field finally gets around him. Luckily, that didn't end in an accident. I know later in the race, we see tensions may get high. We've seen some lap cars get turned before, but luckily the field kept their cool, kept their wits about them. It is only lap 9 after all, as Santiago Nicholas still leads. The 54, they now have a bit of a gap to the rest of the field, but they're keeping along.
It's always tricky when you have a few lapped cars towards the front, as we see Christopher Marnell put it down the inside here for Santiago Nicholas for the lead into turn 1.
Makes it stick. The 83 washes up to that high lane, taking only left side tires. That'll do it to you. Those right side tires are really going to wear more often, especially if you're hanging off that right rear, sitting in the second or third lane. That 54, so he was leading on lap 2. We got a position update. That was for 15th. He had a poor pit stop and is now battling in 15th. Marnell in the lead, Guo in second, and that's exactly how the current points table is. Marnell with 606 points as the leader. Guo 7 points back. On board with Garrett Lamar, who's had a charge through the field. They also took 2 tires, and they're now sitting in 4th place. Second here, they're going to make a pass to the inside on the 47 and the 52. Look at that run from Garrett Lamar. Huge head of steam to the 13th.
He got a wicked fast run there. Really after trying to master 392, and even as the 52 was making an overtake, he was also able to get past both of them, which is quite impressive, even on the video. So the 47 is stuck on the outside here now, and he's just falling like a rock. This is just like you can get shuffled back if you lose a little bit of momentum.
Absolutely. The 51 of Guthrie also being stuck on that outside lane. 13 of Garrett Lamar. He's had an up and down season. Hasn't really been quick at the road courses like we normally see him, but he has had speed at these intermediates, but a little bit of bad luck. Here comes, 3 wide. That's the 60 of Hunter Collier. The 13 wisely backs out of it. That's the Hunter Collier machine making his way, trying to battle for second here, and you can just see Garrett Lamar loses 2 or 3 spots, finally slots back in line, but that 13 car is quite fast.
Yeah,
Logan Williams.
Sorry,
Go
you
for
go
it,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you talk about it.
He's sitting in 24th right now and hasn't really made any ground since the restart. That's really all the notes we have to say. They're just not happy with the setup of the car.
Yeah, it's tough when you get like that. You rode off bad. You got limited time practice to play Champions League. Also trying to focus on qualifying so that as well as trying to make your car go through these long runs and get change races. Really frustrating because you want to get it off because then that just puts you on the road for a while. Constantly feel like you're chasing the rest of the pack if you're that one step behind. It's a frustrating feeling, and for somebody who's been so successful this year, I know that's an annoyance for him.
Big. That was Madrid trying to stay out of the way of Marnell, but the 13 had a massive head of... I think the 13 was making that pass even if Madrid wasn't there, but now Marnell's going to be stuck on that outside. 3 wide. 4 wide. Here comes Kyle Maybe. Who else to make that move but Kyle Maybe? All contact between Collier and Nicholas as the 32 puts itself into second place. Wow, that's some racing up front. 3 wide for 9 positions, it feels like, and we've got every other championship contender, not Logan Williams, right here in the mix.
Yeah, and you see, like with Marnell, like obviously he just wants to get himself like a good haul of points. So there's no point in him like throwing a move down the inside or trying to stick it on the outside or 4 wide. Like just be patient and let the race come to you as one of these championship contenders. Just there's no point taking risks. Garrett Lamar can go out there and take risks if he wants to, but you know, the 23, the 51, the 47, these guys have to take it easy.
Now, if you're sitting in a position like Logan Williams, what you were leading coming into today, you're already mathematically guaranteed that chance of competing for that title. Do you try to just feel out your car? Oh, caution! Oh, big crash on the front straightaway. That's the 14 of Chase Gibbons. It looks like the 31 of Quentin Haley. Oh, and the 99 of Justin Haley as well. The 4 of Reed Simpson, Ian McDaniel as well.
Not a good day for the brothers there.
It feels like they've been in lockstep. They either have a good day together or a bad day together. And it looks like they're involved in the same accident. We'll get back to that note on Logan Williams here as we'll take a look at this caution on lap 21 of 67. Oh, Logan Williams. Ooh. Oh, big incident. Madron goes rolling down the front straightaway. Let's take a look at see from the angle of Reed Simpson and Quentin Haley. Oh, just spinning like a top from that along the front straightaway. Nothing that these guys could do, especially when you're 3 wide. On board with McDaniel.
Just tries powering through it and just meets his demise as a result.
Yeah, that'll do it. As the field will see itself down pit road, Madron, both Haleys, McDaniel, Simpson, Gibbons, the 10 of Sigafos, and the 0 of Alexander Rowe all were involved in that wreck. All of them will go to the garage with their crash damages. As looks like Jerry Chen gets him to Tyler Cook on pit road. Very interesting incident there. As Lamar leads the field down pit road and he'll lead them off. 4 tires and fuel, it appears, for roughly the entire field. Slow stop for Marnell though. It looks like they've got an issue of some flavor. Now they go off. They had trouble getting the wheel off. So big, small blow for the 23 as they will be now 19th on this upcoming restart. The 17 21st, a few spots behind them. So now Marnell and Logan Williams are kind of in the same boat here on this restart. Just before halfway, we'll be restarting on lap 25. Is it time to be aggressive, or do you just let the race come to you?
I mean, we've seen a couple of cautions so far, so we definitely could get one more here, especially we've still got some of these slower cars with damage rolling around, so there's every indication that we could get some more carnage. So I'd say definitely try start making moves. There's no point sitting in 20th all race, but you don't have to get desperate just yet.
Here we go. Green flag is out. We're up and underway here as Garrett Lamar is going to go to the inside, and look at that move. The veteran racer making a veteran move. Goes top to bottom and gets around everybody as the rest of the field's going to stack up behind some of these lapped cars here. Kaz Gralla getting slowed up by Norris Told. It's going to be a breakaway for that top 3 almost, as Gralla's holding up the rest of the field. They're not Gralla, that's Norris Told and Jerry Chen. Now they get around them. Lamar is going to lead them to the stripe to lead lap 25 as the 0351. The rest of them, they're going to get on their horse and start that hard charge back up front. 17 and 37 almost getting into each other there. The 54 of Eris Yuko as well. Lap car really spelling danger for some of these guys in terms of just racecraft here. 17 now gets stuck behind Visconti and the 0-1 of Told as the inside line's going to power around him. He is frustrated in that race car, you can tell.
Yeah, and he's going to be a little more frustrated as he sees Marnell on the bottom, power past him. That's a championship contender, so now he knows that there's yet more points that he's dropping to these other guys.
Absolutely, getting to the outside. His spotter telling him just drop to the back, drop to the inside, and push forwards. That's what the 17 will do, and really that's all you can do in a situation like that. You've got to protect your race car. Not sure, I mean, if you've got a fast car, I'm not sure. I mean, I know this will be the car that you bring to Homestead, but if you're someone like Logan Williams, maybe this is the car you bring to Homestead, but definitely not the setup. But regardless, you want no scratches on that car. If you're able to survive Texas with no scratches, no damage, you know that you'll be able to survive Homestead, which in the past we've seen a much cleaner racetrack in terms of just racing in general. Really haven't seen many multiple car incidents, if at all, through our seasons at Homestead.
Yeah, it's more a track where you kind of push yourself rather than push the people around you. Like, you know, you see a lot of drivers maybe get into the outside wall on exit and they're pushing it through too hard through the center of the corner. But yeah, like you say, oftentimes you don't really see those big sort of multi-car pileups like we've seen a couple of here today.
Absolutely. Is Lamar still leading? Guo leading the points. He's sitting in third. And Tommy, coming into today's race, what was it? 12 points separated that top four. And you can see how close they were heading into it. They're really playing out here with how spread out they are on track right now.
Yeah, you can see there that for the 23 and the 17, obviously sat towards the back of the pack, they dropped back. So going from being like right up there in contention, like you say, within 12 points to being 24 back. 12 points, like, you know, that can swing very quickly. We saw him now was when he was leading, he was obviously the leader of the championship as well. And now he's dropped that far back. But when you have 24-point gap to make up, it really depends on not only you having a good race, but kind of the people in front of you having a mediocre one. And obviously we see how good some of these cars are. That's probably not going to happen.
Absolutely. Still a lot of race left to go. Just hitting the halfway point here as the 54 of Arasuko powers around Nicholas Soa. These guys are hitting 200, 202, 203 into that corner entry and really having to woe it down to 190, 180 as they really had to woe it down for Grayson Collins, who's got quite a bit of damage here. Guo finally getting past them. The 11 of Stapleton, that's a lapped car. But these guys, the RPMs are just screaming heading into the corner. We've seen a lot of tracks like that. Kansas in particular. Atlanta, we saw, I think, a 200-mile-an-hour corner entry, and you had to drop all the way to 160. There's a 51. Has been trying to make that outside work, Michael Guthrie. He really hasn't made much headway so far. And he's been going there on his own ambition, not so much being pushed out there. So Guthrie trying to make something work with that Ford motor.
Yeah, and look, it's good maybe for later on in the race, like, you know, give yourself confidence on that outside lane. If there's, like, you know, a lap car stuck on the bottom, you know, you can try something on the outside. Whereas some of these other guys who are kind of hugging the white line here, not as comfortable going towards the top, they might struggle on the late race restart. So he's surveying the field of play and just seeing how it goes, seeing what he can get away with later on in this one.
Absolutely. A smart racer thinks yellow comes out. Oh, that's a spin. That's the 21. He just spun from a third. Rough go for Anthony Foss in the 21 as that'll bring out our third yellow of the day. Lamar's going to lead them back through the line. I have to imagine he got help from somebody. Very unfortunate. A good run derailed. Let's take a look and see what happened. As this was coming to the yellow. Oh, no, that's teammates. The 47 gets into the 37, and Guo's going to fall back a few spots and has some damage. So here's the incident. Oh, laps car. And just gets helped around.
Yeah, I don't think he was prepared for just how slow the 11 was going to be on the exit of the corner there, unfortunately.
Barone gets some damage as well. And that's just really unfortunate for a KHI group that has just not had much luck this season. A good day goes bad, as we'll see the field come down pit road. All of them, once again, all of the ones on the lead lap coming down. So I have to imagine with this caution coming out on lap 36, Tommy, do you think the field can make it through? You'll really have to save if there's no yellows, but I think everybody's going to be able to be good to go to the end.
Yeah, you can definitely make it, but if there is another caution, I can guarantee that with the way the tire wear is here today, and we've already seen it even on short runs, that like if there's only a couple of laps on the tires, even getting new ones in that case is absolutely essential. So I can guarantee that these guys will all probably be back down pit road if there is another caution. But yeah, they should be able to make it from the end if it stays green, but you know, that's anyone's guess.
There's the 47.
Yeah, very extended pit stop, probably to do with that damage, just taping up that right hand side of the car there, just to make sure it's all okay.
That was a very fast race car from the Guo camp. So, but now they will be restarting in 25th. Still pretty safe. There's a few lapped cars, and if there's still a few more yellows, I think they'll be okay. But they were running top 10 the entire day. That's just really unfortunate to see from the 47 camp, who just had their first win since season 1 last weekend at Talladega. But if they bring something similar of this car next week, you know they'll be a contender. But restart here on lap 41 of 67, the 13 of Garrett Lamar, leading him to the green. Lamar has led a lot of laps here today. That CRT camp has been quite fast. The Chevys have been quite fast here today. That's a lot of Astolfo Motorsports cars tucked in behind him. They're sitting in 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. There's Guthrie goes to the inside here. We'll keep an eye on Guo to see how he moves up through the field, as the 97 of Austin Green working there. As the 52 and 51, they're throwing haymakers at each other for 2nd place.
We haven't exactly seen good teamwork from the guys here today. Obviously the 52 making a move there on the 51, who's in championship contention. You saw Garrett throwing down the inside of Marnell earlier. And we also saw their Guo get into it with his teammate, which led to some damage for him. So really not helping their own cause here. And speaking of, we've got the 23 held up here behind Tyler Cook.
Yep, a little bit of damage on that 43 car. And this is quite a role reversal from what we saw last weekend at Talladega. I think the name of the game was we saw teammates abandon the line they were working with to go with the driver that is a part of their team. We saw the DAF Racing crew. I think Logan Williams was pushing his own teammates for the entire race up until his incident. We saw the Astolfo Motorsports cars, they were usually tucked in 2-3 deep with each other. The Dark Horse Racing cars, they were lined up together, Astolfo Motorsports as well. A lot of teamwork last week, but not so much this week. The attrition has definitely ramped up here, especially in the penultimate race. Quite odd considering you would expect teammates to be giving leeway, especially if one of them's a championship contender. But I'll be really interested to make note of how the two DAF Racing teammates work together in terms of Logan Williams and Henry Guo. First time we've had two drivers on the same team compete for a title against each other, at least this close within each other. obviously we saw Henry Guo and Alexander Rowe in season 2. In season 1, they were quite close with each other in points, but not so much to make a difference here. As we see Marnell +7 on the restart from the 23. So already showing some speed. 47 falling his way back. It'll be something to make note of next weekend for Logan Williams versus Henry Guo, how they attack that. Speaking of another teammate, though, he is trying to keep his cool at Jerry Chen. Was quite frustrated on the radio after that incident, but now that 47 Chagi car, they're just trying to make laps. They're sitting in 21st as we speak. Guthrie leads as Tolfo Motorsports. 1, 2, 3. I mean, these guys are just killing it here. Guthrie in the lead. Cam Wright second. Arasuko third. As we take a listen to these cars fly by.
Almost like they heard what we were talking about there up in the booth on the Tolfo cam as the second we started talking about teammates not working together. They go there and get 1, 2, 3 flying formation, and Michael Guthrie leading the head of that train. Obviously he's the one in championship contention, and he's got the 54 and the 52 protecting him behind, so a couple of rear gunners there for Guthrie. I'd say that gives him a lot of confidence. As we see Marnell now trying to make his way back through the field. Like you were saying earlier, this is the guy who had the best time on average, so over a run we do expect Marnell to make his way back towards the front, but we'll have to see if he does enough to kind of win those and stall for those.
Absolutely. I mean, as Tolfo Motorsports has been fast really all season, especially from Hugo and Guthrie, but Cameron Jr. has shown flashes before the Greenhouse Jr. has also led quite a few laps. No wins to go for from either of those two, but 4 wins from both the 51 and 54 combined, including the last intermediate race at Kansas. And we saw the 54 a little earlier had a big slide up the racetrack, but again, they've got a rear gunner still in the 52 with Cam Wright, and if I'm looking at it correctly, as the 54 is sliding back a few spots, it's a Ford 1, 2, 3, 4 as we run.
I feel like I might be getting a sense of deja vu here with Marnell, the quickest car potentially on track, working his way back through the field, but he's got a Tolfo car to have to overtake to potentially win this race. So we know what happened last time on these intermediate tracks, so hopefully for my sake and for my team's sake, history doesn't repeat itself.
And we saw the same but opposite at Gateway, although you did have to pass a driver of your own team to get by for the win. But it seems that's been quite a recurring theme this season, has been Marnell and the CRT camp. Fast cars, but they just get put in the back in some way, shape, or form, and they have to work their way through the field. Saw it at the Roval, saw it at Gateway, Kansas. I'm sure there's plenty other examples, Talladega, Daytona, but Guthrie currently leading, and it's not just Marnell. We've seen from the 13 of Garrett Lamar, that happened to him in Atlanta, the Coke 600. Saw it from the 33 of Gordoff. It just seems that these guys really have not had a full, complete race, which if I'm looking at it from the perspective of the rest of the field, that's scary if I'm the rest of the field, if they haven't had a race where they've been mistake-free. So who knows what'll happen if there's a mistake-free race from anybody in the CRT camp.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, obviously, being on the inside of a team like that, because obviously execution is such a big part of these things, especially like, on pit road and strategy wise. That's absolutely make or break when it comes to winning races and losing them. But at the same time, another huge factor of that is having the speed to win races. So look, we've got the speed down, and I think with help from DAF, we've got the intermediate sorted out. So we're very happy with how the season went, speed-wise. But like you say, the execution and like the actual results outside of the 23 camp haven't exactly been there. So we'll be looking to improve upon that for next season.
Absolutely. It's Logan Williams making his way through the field, sitting in second place in points right now, but it's the 51 and 52 in lockstep, 1-2 so far. Marnell's moved his way to fourth. He's going to have to get around 3 Fords with 10 laps to go here at Texas. All these lap cars, they might help out. They're going to move out of the way. 51 and 52. Oh, no, they are going to help out. Every single top 4 went from being separated by 3 seconds to now under a blanket. Is now it's Michael Guthrie. He's leading 9 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. To the inside of the 16. Oh, we got a spinner. It's the 3 of Joe Kraus. Yellow with 9 to go.
Road here.
Wow. This changes a lot here at Texas. 8 laps to go under the stripe, or under the caution flag. As a solo spin, what appears is going to bring out our yellow. Let's take a look at it. Is that Kyle? That is Kyle, maybe. I think he just got fed up with him. He just said, here's the inside wall for you, buddy.
Yeah, uncharacteristic from Kyle. You know, he's usually quite a, level-headed, or maybe not level-headed, but smart driver in any case. But yeah, I can't exactly say that was a smart move there, as nobody comes down the road.
I'm shocked. Wow. So we have an extended. Go for it.
I was gonna say, like, maybe if you're Michael Guthrie or somebody like that out front and you want to play the track position game, yeah. But if you're someone like Marnell, or especially if you're the likes of a Logan Williams or a Guo further on back, absolutely come down and take 4 tires, see where it gets you. But yeah, that's a shocker that people are playing the track position game here with just a few laps to go.
We'll be restarting with 2 laps to go here at Texas.
Okay, but that was a longer caution period than I thought, because we were 9 laps to go when it came out. So I guess that makes more sense. But even still,
we had a motor let go. We had a motor let go, which led to an extended cleanup. But green flag is back out. 2 laps to go. Here, yeah, a very long caution period. And already, Cam Wright Jr. says, screw the teammates. I'm going for the lead. The 52 is going to the front here with 2 laps to go.
I never thought I'd be cheering for an Astolfo car, but here we are. Please, Cam Wright, hold on to this. No bias from the commentary booth whatsoever in that decision.
The 23's got a big head of steam coming through turns 3 and 4, but it's side by side up front. Whoever wants to win this race has to get by this Astolfo brigade. This might be planned. White flag is in the air. The 51 and 52 are holding up the field side by side with each other. How long will this last? The 51 slides back to 23 now.
Come on, baby.
He's got to run to the inside. Through turns 3 and 4, Marnell to the inside. Guthrie to the bottom side. It's the 23 of Marnell. A last lap pass is going to take home the win for Christopher Marnell.
Let's go, baby. CRT back.
And let's take a look at that last lap here. So they were side by side. I don't know if this was planned or not, Tommy, but it worked out in your favor as the 51. You see that little slide slid up the racetrack, and Marnell knew that it was game on from there. Also, what a run from Lamar to work his way into that top 4. He tried fighting for that top 3. I don't know if he got to the 51 at the line, but Marnell, from 4th to 1st on the final lap, takes home the victory here at Texas Motor Speedway for his 2nd win of the season. And Tommy, 2 weeks in a row we've had a guest from the winning team up in the booth. Very well.
Any chance you could
two
have me
times is
back
a
for the Homestead race?
You know what they say, 1 times is something, but 2 times is a trend. We do have an open booth for the final race as Marnell's going to take a Kawicki lap, wave to the fans with his hand out the window. What an awesome gesture from the 23 camp. All of CRT celebrating on pit road as we'll take a look at our official results here as they run. Marnell, Guthrie, Wright, Lamar, Nicholas. A great run from Santiago Nicholas, all things considered. Even if it may not result in a championship contention berth for the 83 camp, still great season from the Daytona 500 winner and great run from them as well. Led some laps early. Henry Guo rounds out 18th, was able to make up a few spots. Logan Williams cracked into the top 15. A great sort of recovery run from the 17 camp as we see through the rest of the field. All Astolfo Motorsports cars, all Astolfo Motorsports cars that were on the lead lap. Massive goalpost moving there, but every single one that was on the lead lap finishing within the top 6. This Aquarius Greenhouse Jr. finishes 28th with some damage. They were fast as well, not to discredit them at all. And all those guys exiting the race due to an accident. All of them checked and released from the care center, even Jordan Madron, who took a roll. 23 has made his way to the front stretch, and now he'll burn it down. Much earned celebration, but now the real work starts for you guys, Tommy, as we'll take a look at our championship contenders going into Homestead. Marnell, 2 wins, 13.13 average finish, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. He leads over Michael Guthrie with 599 points. Logan Williams, a few points back, 588 points, and then Henry Guo with 576. I mean, look at all these guys. Statistical category leaders in every single category.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're looking like every single driver here has at least 1 win and, like, you know, pushing double-digit top 10s, even despite the fact there's only been less than 20 races. That's, like, you know, like, most of these guys are finishing in the top 10 every other race, you know? So it really is a testament to just how consistent these guys have been across the season.
All 4 of these guys have the 4 best average finishes by, I mean, they're all within 14. Everybody else, or the 5th place guy is Santiago Nicholas. He has an average finish of 16th. So the class of the field indeed. So here's a look at our scenarios here. A win clinches the title for Marnell. He just has to finish ahead of everybody to clinch the title. Guthrie has to win. Marnell has to finish 23rd or worse. Logan Williams must win, 6th or worse for Marnell. 51 finishes 3rd or worse. And then Guo. Looks like a lot for Guo, but in reality, it's doable. He must win. Marnell finishes 16th or worse. 51 finishes 9th or worse. Logan Williams finishes 3rd or worse. It's super, super close for these top 4 in, like you mentioned, Tommy, class of the field from all of these guys. I can't think of a better group of 4 drivers to compete for the title coming down to Homestead.
I could. It would be Garrett Lamar, Christopher Marnell, Tyler Cook, and Robbie Gordoff. But no, biases aside, no, these have been some fantastic drivers all season long. Like, you know, these are guys who have been around the series for a while now. They're veterans, and that experience and that knowledge of the series and their racecraft has proven valuable across the seasons. So yeah, I wish all 4 contenders good luck, but you definitely know where my heart lies. It's just going to be having to try to keep Mr. Marnell away from the Asahi and away from the Moretti, etc. In the next week here. We've got to keep him locked in the basement so that he's fully ready to go for this final race in Homestead.
Do you think locked in the basement is the right way, or do you think he actually might have to be out for him to be locked in?
I'd say he'd enjoy being locked in a basement. We'll find a way to make him entertained.
I think he'll find ways to entertain himself if I know Chris well. um, but here's a look at our standings as the rest of the field shakes out. Great results or great runs from all of our guys, and a lot of momentum being built for some of these guys for potentially season 4. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But all eyes are on Homestead here as Marnell burns it down once again.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and he's definitely making this celebration one of a big one.
I don't blame him. But I'm you, Tommy, I mean, that's a great motor and that's a great car. I'd be telling him to save that motor for Homestead.
Maybe he's determined to get a fresh one in there for the maximum power.
That's true. It's not ridiculous to say that. But great win from Marnell, and CRT led the most laps between him and Garrett Lamar, and then Michael Guthrie also leading a fair share of laps. Any final words or thoughts before we head off the air for today?
A fair few thoughts, but definitely a few thoughts. I think that next weekend, obviously the focus is going to be on the championship contenders, but you also have to remember that there's still people further back in the pack who are still level on points with each other or very close to each other in points. A good points day for somebody in the 20s could move them inside the top 20 in points or something like that. So everyone has something to fight for, not just the 4 guys in contention for the championship. So if you expect guys to just move out of the way of the 4 guys competing for the championship, I severely doubt that that's going to be the case. So everyone is going to have to fight for every single spot, and everyone's going to be going for it 100%. So I'm looking forward to it. Everyone's going to be on their A game.
Absolutely. And just a quick note to add on to what you said. A race win, especially if you're not a championship contender, and if you're trying to move from a lower level team to a high level team, a race win beating out some of the championship contenders, free agency is going to go crazy, especially if you move up in the point standings. Every single position matters, and I think everybody's going to go all out at Homestead.
Yeah, wins are crazy important. You saw the swing it had there for Chris, going from him being in 4th place and Michael being in 1st on that restart to him winning and Michael being 2nd is a 20-something point swing in Chris's favor. So it's crucial to stay up front if you're looking to get yourself a better ride for next season and stay in the attention of some of these top teams.
Absolutely. Well, from us 2 here in the booth, we will see you guys next week. I know, Tommy, your prep work starts now for next week.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I wait to see what your notebook says at Homestead. And from us in the booth, we thank you guys for watching. So long and good night from Fort Worth.